back. My name is Janelli. I'm the host of this podcast, Growing and Sewing. I am actually a bachelor's prepared nurse who left the bedside, became an NPC bikini athlete, is treading her way up to try to go to nationals. And I love health, I love God, I love people. And I just want to talk about my transition over to fitness and health when it comes to being a nurse, because it's not very the conventional way to do things, in hopes of encouraging somebody else to let them know, like, hey, you don't have to stay doomed in one spot or doing what you don't absolutely love doing. Like, there's going to be something out there that you love to do and that you can do. And if there isn't, you can make a way for it. So if there's anybody going through similar circumstances, I share my real life in hopes of encouraging you. So I hope that that's enough for you to be able to listen to my life experiences and contribute yours to mine. I'm always down to learn something, and today I'm going to just be talking about hair. I know it seems super insignificant, but I promise you, if you chopped all of yours off now, or if you're somebody who always carries it chopped off, if you put on something very long and you're not used to it, it's gonna matter. It's the frame of your face. It's something that's in the pictures all throughout when you're growing up. It's something that may have been commented a lot growing up, or something that nobody ever commented on. So, and I'm gonna be talking about it because it's a major dilemma that's coming back up again, being that I'm getting married soon, April 15th of next year. And the question arose, or the request really arose, that some family members would like for my hair to be curly. Like, that's their only request, is they want my hair to be curly. And it had hit me, oh no. I don't know about all that. Because I've been straightening my hair now since about February this year, and it is June now, so 3 or 4 months. And I've cut my hair off before. I've cut it off twice, actually. Cut it off once in high school, once in college. And now that I've been straightening for 3 or 4 months, that's enough for it already to be having a lot of its straight ends. And if I've learned anything from the 2 other times I've cut off my hair, is that there's no product, I promise there's no miracle product that is just going to revert all your curls back to how they originally were. There's just letting it grow out of your roots the way that they naturally are, and nourishing those new sprouts of your hair, the new growth, and keeping heat away from it, and just slowly trimming off the ends that are dead, that are not coming back. I'm sorry, there's no amount of protein that you can put in to rebond those bonds, okay? And if you had enough to put in that you thought would be enough to make it back together, it's going to be super stiff. So you can't have the best of both worlds. So through trial and error over, 8 years? Yes, 8 years from both my cuts, I've learned you just grow it out your roots, condition it, keep the heat away, trim it, and you'll be back to your curly hair. But I don't know if I want to do all that, because I started straightening my hair again because of how difficult it was to manage my hair being curly. So if you're somebody that's thinking about doing the big chop, going curly, this episode might be for you. Let me go ahead and start talking about, my journey. I did it in high school originally because before middle school, I didn't like my curly hair. It was super frowned upon. It was super seen as unorderly hair, undone hair. If my hair was ever curly, it was super, you need to go do your hair. So my mom was always straightening my hair. Love her, God bless her for it. But I associated my hair being straight with me being done up and good. And she was always going to do it. When I did it, it turned out horrible because my roots were always not done enough, because it hurt my arms. I'm glad I have strong arms now, but back then I didn't have the strong arms for that blow dryer in my hair. And then straightening after blow drying it, I just did not have it. So after middle school, my mom was like, I'm not doing your hair anymore. I was like, what? I don't have money to do it. You're not going to do it. So now I have to learn how to love my hair that's underneath all this. And so my hair was similar to how it is right now in this video. If you see it, it was stringy, and then at the root it had some curls. Look, the back here curls were kind of, what's the R word? Resilient back here. But I cut off all those dead ends and just was YouTubing everything about curly hair. I fell upon, shout out to Sunkissed Alba, who's now Alba Ramos on most social media platforms. She taught me everything growing up when it came to my hair. And there came other curly hair influencers, but she was always like my go-to girl or woman. I learned a lot about my hair. And And it grew with me throughout high school because I was around freshman, sophomore year of high school that I cut my hair, took care of it, and it grew to be super long, super healthy, super huge. I'm hoping to attach some photos. That's why I'm making this a video podcast versus just the audio. I would not choose to show y'all this side of my hair. But that's where we are right now, and we got to do something about it. Or not. We'll find out, because who's to say that I want to go back to curly. But I was often recognized for my hair in high school, and being that high school is a huge part of you building your identity, and hair being a huge part of my identity, I mistakenly took my hair for a lot of my identity. And I didn't know how much of my identity it was until I went to college. And around my sophomore year, I did not mean to cut my hair as short as I cut my hair, okay? Let me just start out by saying that was an accident. That was not intentional. I know it was misplaced in a really bad time of college, being super sad, super away from family, and just seemed like, and I hate when people call it this, because Brittany wasn't having a Brittany moment. It was just, she was probably really overwhelmed with life. And so I was looking like I was super overwhelmed with life in college, and it might have looked like I had a quote-unquote Brittany moment. But no, I wanted to try something different with my hair. I was thinking like short curly or pixie, even curly cut. But I was in Greenville, North Carolina, and I could not find somebody who knew how to do this. So I went to a Fantastic Sam's and thought that'd be perfect. Let me let them cut my hair a little bit. You might run into that hidden gem in a Fantastic Sam's and save you a lot of money. That's not what happened that day. They cut my hair short, and I was, feeling it, looking at it. It wasn't fully dry, and I hadn't had my hair cut that short to see that much bounce yet. And when they cut it, I was like, okay. Yeah, I like it. Let's stop here. And when it dried up completely, it was too short, and the cut made my hair look super triangular. Super heavy at the bottom. There's no layers, not rounded at the top. It was not the shape for me. Left, and I was just so sad at this edgy cut that I got, that I figured, well, it's already all gone. I'm gonna go get the rest of it gone and do this pixie cut that I saved so many Pinterest pictures of. So me and my friend were searching around for somebody who could do it, and we came across like a Walmart. I can't remember the name of it, y'all. But it was a very nice place, very nice ladies. They actually had church in the mornings at this hair salon in the mornings, and then there were a salon in the evenings. But I trusted them with my hair, and it's still not what I wanted. All of the curly hair was like all in the front, and then the back wasn't even like trimmed pixie cut. Y'all, it was so bad. I don't have any photos of it. I knew it was bad, but I didn't know how bad it was until I called my mom and my little sister, who I was expecting to say something like, "Oh, it's fine, baby. You look beautiful," or something. But my family was super honest, and they were like speechless. And then finally, my little sister was like, "No," and my mom was like, "No, what have you done?" And I was like, "Oh, I messed up." Like, it really hit me that I did not do the right thing. I was being super impulsive. I hung up the phone. My friend was in the room, and I started crying because it had hit me that I messed up, and I threw away all of what I thought made me pretty. It was gone. And if not only gone, it was made to a terrible style to make matters worse. So my identity took a huge hit. I was already far away from family. I was in a college whose culture was not like mine. I was on and off with Chris. So really all I had was my best friend, and I was just crying in there, and she was comforting me. Shout out to her. And now, like I mentioned, I've been straightening my hair for a while, and I'm already experiencing damage. So I'm debating whether I'm going to straighten it again or do curly again. But I'm trying to step away and be as objective about this as possible. But if I already did a little pros and cons list, and logically, I'm going to keep straightening my hair if I looked at the pros and cons list, because there are a lot of cons to having curly hair. It is just so high maintenance. Nobody understood the assignment that it was to have long, healthy, curly hair. It takes a lot of maintenance. Even when it was a pixie cut, it took a lot of maintenance. But straightening my hair, it's much easier. I can wake up, I let it down, comb it out, maybe flat iron a little piece or two, and I'm out the door. I avoid rain, and we have, a good week. But when it comes to curly hair, I have to be, you already know, deep conditioning twice a week. That is how many times I have to deep condition it for it to be what people like it to be. Oh, I got to this because I was trying to say that I'm trying to be objective about this, to try not to get into my people-pleasing tendencies. Because the people-pleaser in me is like, oh yes, let's go back to curly. Everybody wants curly, that's what we're going to give them. But then the me is like, the me that's trying to not be people-pleasing is saying, is that really what you want? Like, you're going to be happy doing that? Why are you doing that anyways? Are you doing it because they want you to do it? It's like, yeah, kind of. But when I think about it, you know what? I don't get a lot of compliments on my hair straight like I did in, elementary school when you straighten your hair and like, oh, it's pretty. No, right now when I'm straightening my hair, I don't get a lot of compliments. I'm not noticed. I don't do my hair ways for compliments, but compliments do give me a lot of insight of how I'm looking like when I'm walking around the streets. So, being that I did get a lot of compliments when my hair is curly, I don't know if it's because it's so different or it's just huge, or you can't not notice because so curly hair is big, it's different, it stands out, so you get compliments. Or if I just don't look good with straight hair and people aren't telling me straight up, you don't look good with straight hair. Instead, they're doing it passively by not giving me compliments about my straight hair. So I'm kind of like, you know what? Maybe they're trying to help you out and say you should go back to what you naturally look good in. Straight hair is not for you. But they don't want to say that. So, but as soon as I think about going back to curly hair, I think about the maintenance. I think about wash days, how long wash days are. Wash day for me started the night before. I had to detangle with some coconut oil, 4 sections, put that up. Then I didn't do any of the pre-poo stuff, but then depending on the day of the month, clarifying shampoo or co-wash, and then condition, deep condition, walk around. If you have time to be walking around, if somebody has a really busy schedule, I don't know that, wash days are going to be all the more miserable for you. And then wash it out, detangle it, put in your products in whatever order it is that you believe in. I use the lock method, so a leave-in, an oil, and a cream. Sometimes even a gel, just for that definition. Wait for that to dry. And in the cold months, it sucked so bad to wait for your hair to air dry. You get a lot more definition with that, but I feel like you get a lot more bounce when you diffuse it. But I hated having wet hair in the wintertime. I also just don't like wet hair touching me. So that was another con for the curly hair. And then imagine doing all that just to find out that it's going to rain the next day. I know some people are thinking, well, at least your hair's not straight and it rains, because then your hair gets frizzy, right? So what happens when your hair curly when it hits the rain? It still gets frizzy. Or it gets completely soaked, and that was a waste of a wash day. I can't predict what my hair looks like when I do it curly. Like, I can put all my effort into it, and it might not come out the way that I wanted it to come out. And then I have to wear it for 3 days, because if you wash your hair too soon, like the day after your wash day, you're stripping more and more oils off of it. So if you're not familiar, when you have straight hair, oftentimes you have to wash it more times than we do with curly hair, because the oils are going straight from your scalp down. It has a straight path because your hair is straight. For curly hair, it's going from our scalp and it's coiling down this path of curly hair. So a lot of times it might not even get to our ends by the time we wash our hair again, because it's having to go down these curls. So you don't want to wash your hair again after a bad hair day. You just put it in a bun. And that's another thing. My hair spent a lot of time in a bun when my hair was curly this past year, because of work, because of gym, because we didn't really go out anywhere. So it just spent time in a bun. And because of that, I felt like I had a lot of single strand knots. And if you have never had single strand knots, consider yourself blessed, because they're like split ends, but I think I'd rather have split ends be literally split ends, not a knot, because I like to play with my hair, and I think I exacerbate the knots just playing with them. They are literally on a single strand of hair, each of these little knots, and they feel so tactily stimulating. I will mess with them, and I make matters worse, and I'll rip them, and I'm not supposed to rip them. Yes, I know you're supposed to cut your hair a certain amount of times before getting that, to prevent that, but again, now I'm in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I mean, I'm in North Carolina, period. I can't find anybody, well, maybe in Charlotte or Raleigh, but I cannot find anybody around me close enough, a stylist that I trust to cut my hair curly, dry. I prefer my hair to be cut dry. That way I can see the whole shape. When it's cut wet, I don't know what's gonna come of it when it dries up curly. Excuse me. So that's another con to me. The maintenance different from the seasons, single strand knots, finding a stylist. I mean, there's a reason why, if you've been following this curly hair trend long enough and influencers long enough, you'll notice that a lot of them will end up cutting their hair. I've already mentioned, names already of influencers, but I know Shameless Maya cut her hair. I know Lipstick and Curls, she even changed her name. She's over the curls right now, and I feel her, because it's just so much maintenance. And I think Shameless Maya was more of an identity thing too. I can't remember, don't quote me on it. And I'm sure there are other influencers who've either cut their curly hair to just get a different look, or to, oh my gosh, Alyssa Forever. She's another one who cut her hair. I think she was going through some things too, but we all get to this point of, I don't know if it's not a form of worship. It's not ridiculous, but it gets to be too much of us. Your identity gets really mixed up with your hair, and it's difficult to see past the people who are there for you, or who are there for you because of your hair. And it's very difficult to do what you want to do with your hair without somebody saying something about your hair when it's curly. For example, my hair is naturally curly. I understand that it was beautiful, and I'm thankful that it was beautiful. But sometimes I'd want to do something a little bit different with my hair. And to just not put heat on it, I'd go out and I'd go looking for a wig. I'll see a wig that I really want to try, like a pixie cut or a short cut or a pink wig, or just something different. And amidst searching for stuff, I'll always get a comment of, "Why are you looking for wigs? Your hair is good just as it is." And it's like, it's not about that. I'm gonna try something different. I appreciate the compliment, but you gotta understand, I don't want to wear this 24/7 for the rest of my life. If I had to choose between this and something else, I probably would. But when I have the opportunity to try something else, I would like to, without feeling bad for trying something else on. Man, I'm so glad I had gotten all of this off of my chest, because I feel like I just am convincing myself not to go back curly. But you know what? I am. I'm gonna do it just because I've been doing the straight hair thing for like 3 or 4 months, and I think that's enough for me to, I don't know if I'm tired of the straight hair, or if I just realized, oh my gosh, maybe I am not my best looking with the straight hair, nobody's telling me. Or the fact that I'm looking at my hair now, how dead it is after 3 or 4 months of heat, and I'm thinking I need to go back now if I want to have as much length as I want. Because if I keep straightening my hair, it's gonna be harder to go back. I'm gonna have to cut more. So I'll probably cut sometime soon. And I don't know that I'll be getting somebody specific to cut it. I might cut it myself the way that there was a point in the beginning of college that wasn't an accident, that I trimmed my hair and it turned out pretty good. Because I know my hair, I know each strand, which one bounces a little more than the other one. So I'll cut it. And who knows, I might wear my hair curly for my wedding, get it long and curly. That would be different. That would feel more like I don't know if it's that I feel more like me. I'm me regardless. If my hair is straight or curly on the wedding day down that aisle, it's me. So, you know what? If I was working right now, like the bedside job that I had before, I'd probably keep straightening my hair because I don't need that added maintenance. I don't need those added tasks. Everybody can say, oh, well, why don't you do your hair curly? Oh, why don't you do your hair straight? But whichever one is more maintenance to you, remember all those people that are commenting, they are not in that shower detangling your hair. They are not the ones sleeping in the deep conditioner or going to work in a deep conditioner. Yeah, we do that. It is you taking care of that hair. So you pick what you want to pick. You are beautiful with or without, curly or not. And as Proverbs 31:30 says, charm is deceitful, and beauty is in vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Or basically, for those who aren't into that, it's your character that's going to speak for you. How do you carry yourself? That's going to be remembered when you're, 6 feet under. It's not about your hair. It's who were you without the hair, because you have beautiful hair, curly or not, with or without. And if your character was ugly, it's not going to matter how good that hair looks. Okay?